we're excited to get our first win here at the Shore Center. I'm sure it was a thriller for the fans. It was nerve-wracking for me, but we're excited to get the win. We said we'd much rather have an ugly win than a pretty loss. So excited for the team and just really proud of them to come in the crunch and be able to execute. Asia hit some big shots in the end that put us over the top, so we're excited to get the win.
Questions from the players first.
Asia, walk us through that last shot and where you looked like you were, that's where you wanted the shot. Is that the case?
Wait, can you repeat that?
The last shot, did you get the ball right where you wanted it? Was that kind of?
Yeah, so we drew up a play. I was getting back screen and then setting the ball screen, and then I flared and it was open, so I shot the ball and win.
Is that a spot you like to get at?
Yes. Wide open on the wing.
Okay.
When Asia, you went out late in that one, how'd you continue to provide support for, especially with all these freshmen, how'd you continue to provide support from the bench?
Just cheering on my team, making sure I was still active, even though I wasn't in the game, just being a big support of everybody, being a big presence on the bench.
Asia, how did you think you guys performed in that last few minutes? They're in a tight game here, and
I think we really locked in. We executed the play well, so that was good. We were focused.
Guys, they're calling a lot of fouls today. How did you guys adjust to that as the game wore on?
Just knowing that they're going to the free throw line every time we foul, so on offense taking good shots and then being aware on defense, not using our hands and moving our feet.
was there a certain situation down the stretch when you guys thought this is the time you have to execute, because they'd taken a lead, I think, by 4 at one point. It looked like if you don't score, maybe you're going to be in real trouble. Was there a case of that?
Around the 5-minute mark, I think it was when they got when we had 5 team fouls in, and we sent them to the line, and then we knew we had to lock in even more.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the players?
We've all eliminated, even though you weren't out there at the end. Did you like the fact that this was a tight game and you had to execute on a lot of different things you've been working on?
Yeah, because it really challenged us. It really kind of depending we could execute, and we went out there and did that. Even though it was a tight game, it was competition. I mean, we like competition, compete and stuff. And we were able to go out there and do exactly what Coach drew up and came out with the win.
All right, okay. Excuse two of you. Open up questions for Coach.
Coach, you guys came out the gates dominating interiorly, both offensively and defensively. Was that the plan going in, or was that off scouting, or did you find that out midway through the first quarter? How'd that come about?
No, that was our game plan. We have Ivana McGill, who we call her buckets from the inside. She's very efficient from the inside. Last year, she shot over 50% from the field. So when you're that efficient, the game plan is always to get paint points, what we call paint points. And so we wanted to go inside it to her. And we did that early on, and she scored a lot of points. Unfortunately, she got in foul trouble. We just have to get her to understand that we can't afford to have you in foul trouble, but we can really always depend on Ivana to be able to score inside.
How valuable is it having a game like this so early in the season when you have to do all these different things to pull off?
Well, we have 6 first years and 2 redshirt freshmen. And so we've been having to do a lot of teaching. So we really haven't even covered late game situations where the game is on the line and we need to score for a win. So a lot of this stuff was kind of off the cuff. So that's why I'm proud of them for executing. Now the last play, we put that in yesterday. Yesterday was the first day we ever ran that. So I was a little nervous. Okay, would the timing be good? Would we be able to execute? So just really proud of them for being able to run that play. But that was one where we just decided to inbound it and not necessarily run a side out of bounds play to try to go for the win, because we don't have any side out of bounds late game plays in right now. So I'm extremely proud of our team to come out and execute. And fortunately, we had enough time on the clock where we could just get it in bounds and run a play. So we got a lot of work to do. We've had a lot of games back to back to back, and so we've not had a lot of practice time to be able to put in a lot of the things that we need to put in. And we're so young, it's like you can only put in so much that they can retain.
And you also had to kind of deal with, I'm sure, the mental aspect of it. A lot of things did go wrong down the last few minutes. You had people fouling out, you threw one ball out of bounds. You must have been happy the way they were just saying, move on to the next thing. Was that part of it?
Yeah, you have to. You have to have a short memory when the game, because if I get tight, if I get super tight, then they end up being super tight. And I was tight, but I tried to hide it. I was very uptight because, you know, there were a lot of stretches where we were not executing, and I felt like our shot selection was not good. Typically, when you're seeing Elon women's basketball, it's a well-oiled machine and we're moving the ball. So we got to get better at moving the ball, making the one more pass, and I think we'll be a much better team.
Any other questions for Coach?
I'll say this about the freshmen with the 7 newcomers. What have they brought that is a bit of a surprise to you?
Fearlessness. You know, we played great competition in Wake Forest, NC State, and you would think as first years that they would go in with a lot of nerves and a lot of jitters, and they may have had nerves, but I didn't see it, and they played those games with a lot of confidence, and we did some really good things. I mean, NC State is the number 10 team in the country, and I told my team after the game, I said, I know we lost, but I could go back and put together a lot of clips and make it a nice highlight reel to make it look like we won because we did a lot of really good things. So I'm just proud of their fight and their courage.
Did you put together a highlight reel?
I did, but I've not shown it to them yet. Yeah, I got to keep them humble.
All good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.